Timotab, and today I'm going to solve consecutive non-consecutives by pagedo. If you would like to try this puzzle for yourself, it'll be the first link in the description. Let's have a look at the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we are going to place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every box. Non-consecutive. Cells that are orthogonally adjacent, so that means connecting by an edge, cannot contain consecutive digits. So if this were a 2, we could not place a 3 here or a 1 here. Okay. Cells connected by a pink Renban line form a set of consecutive digits in any order without repeats. So those two will be a pair of consecutive digits, as will those two. Cells joined by an X sum to 10. So those two digits will sum to 10. Cells joined by a V sum to 5, so those two will sum to 5. Cells joined by a black dot, one digit is double the other. So, for example, if this were a 2, this could be a 1 or a 4. Not all X's, V's, or dots are given. So we could potentially have a 2 and a 4 here without a problem according to the rules. Okay, I am going to restart the puzzle to reset the timer, and let's begin. Okay, first of all, there are two ways to make these two digits sum to 5. You can either use 1, 4, or you can use 2, 3. But our non-consecutive rule tells us that we cannot use 2, 3. So all of these 5s are of the 1, 4 variety, including this one. Now, here, if this were a 4, then this would be a 1, and then this would have to be a 2 to be double it. But we have the non-consecutive rule in play. So that can't actually be a 1, 2 pair. Therefore, this must be a 4, this must be a 1, this is a 2. This now is a 3 or a 5. If this is not a 2, then it has to be an 8. That's the only other digit that can go on the black dot with the 4. Okay. This here is 6 or 9, depending on what's going to happen there. These two cells are from 2, 3, and 5. One of them will be a 2, the other will be a 3 or a 5. Here we get a 6, 9 pair for across the X. And this 1, 4 gives us 2, 3, 5 as well. Okay. What else have we got going on? This 2 means that that can't be a 3 because it would be consecutive. So that has to be a 5. Here, it can't be a 2, 3 pair, so that's a 2, 5 pair. And that places 2 and 5 up here. Okay. 3 can't go here, or it will be consecutive with the 2, so 3 is in one of these two. Uh, 3 can't go there. 3 can't go here, because if this were a 1, 2 pair, then it would be consecutive with this 2. If it were a 4, 5 pair, it would be consecutive with this 4. So 3 must go in one of those two. That means that 3 is in one of those. Okay. Um, all right. 1 and 4 must be in those three. But neither of these can be a 1 because that would force that to be a 2, and we already have a 2 in the column. So those can't be a 1. This is now a 1. This is a 2. That means that that is not a 2. All right. So 4 is in one of those two, but we know that neither of these can be a 5 because of that. So it's one of these two that's a 3, and this one isn't. Right, this digit here. If this is 6, this must be 7. If this is 9, this would have to be 8, but it can't be an 8 because we have an 8 there. So that is 6. That would be 7 or 5, but we already have a 5 in the box, so that's a 7. This 6 makes this a 4, which makes this a 1. This 4 is looking across here. That's now a 1. That's a 4. We get a 3 or a 5 there. And this is 9. These three digits are 9, 3, and 6. This one can't be a 9 because of the non-consecutive rule. This one can't be a 6 because of non-consecutive, and this can't be a 3. So this is 6 or 9. If this were 9, this would be 8. If it's 6, this would be 5 or 7. All of those look viable right now. Okay. This 4 makes this a 3 or a 5, but it can't be a 5 because of that 6. So that is a 3. That now can't be a 3. That makes this a 3. Let me see. 2 can't go in those by Sudoku. 2 can't go here because that would have to be a 1 or a 3, which it can't be. So that means that that's a 2. That makes this 5 and this 2, which gives me my 1 and my 4 here. That makes that 6. We need 7, 8, and 9 to fill out the box. That sees 8 and 9, so that's a 7. And that becomes an 8, 9 pair. I don't see any obvious restrictions there. Okay, that is no longer 7. That still can be 6 or 9. But this is 5 or 8. And in fact, that 4 tells me it has to be an 8. So that's a 5 here. That makes this a 6. This 8 gives me a 7 or 9. This 5 makes this 3. And then our remaining digits are 6, 7, 8. I can't put an 8 here, so 8 has to be on this line, which has to go with the 7. So that is a 7, 8 pair. I don't see any obvious restriction there, and that's a 6. All right. Right, this has to be a 3-6 pair because without a 2 on there, the only set from 1, 2, 4, 8 would be 8, 4, but it can't be that either. So this is a 3-6 pair. Okay. If this is 3, then that would be 4 or 2, but it can't be a 4. So 2 would work. If this were a 6, this would have to be a 5 or a 7. Okay, but I do have a 3-6 pair in the row now. In fact, that's 6. Means that that's 3, that's 9, that 3 looks across here, that's 6, that's 3, and that's 2. Okay. Let me see, I've got 7, 9, and 5. Okay, that can't be a 5 or a 7 because of this 6. So that's a 1 or a 9. And if this is a 1, this is a 2. And if it's a 9, it's an 8. And it is not a 5. Okay. Okay. 5 can't go here and it can't go on the black dot. 5 can't go in any of those 3. So 5 is in one of these 2. That means that 5 is in one of these 2 in this box. If that were a 5, that would be 6 or 4. So it would have to be, which it can be neither of, because that's 6 in the box and the 4 in the column. So that's not 5. This is 5. Okay. This now needs a 7 or a 9 on it, because we have 1, 3, and 5, and we need an odd digit on there. If that's a 9, that would be 8, which seems reasonable. If that's a 7, that would be 8 because it can't be a 6. So 8 is in one of those 2 with, that's either 7, that would be 8, 9 there, or it would be 8, 7 here. I need a 4 in this box. That has to go there. And then this is the other of 7, 8, and 9, but we know it's not 8. So that's 7 or 9. Okay. Let us look. Where should we look? These 3 digits are 3, 9, and 6. Okay, that one can't be a 3 because, right, we know that 3 is going to go with a 4 because we know that one of those is a 4 and we can't put a 5 here. Okay, so that's not the 3. So if this is 6, this would be 5 or 7. So if that's a 6, that's a 5. If one of these is a 6, one of those is a 7. In fact, we know that one of those is a 7. by the column. In fact, that 9 tells me that that's an 8. That will probably help out quite a bit. So this is a 4-7 pair. That makes this a 3-6 pair. That makes this 9, and this is 8. So this is a 2, and this is a 1. This is the remaining digit for the box, which is a 5. This 2 tells me that this has to be the 6. That's 7. That's 4, and that's 3. This 9 makes this a 7. So that's 8, and that's 7. That 7, let's look down here, that's 8, that's 9, and that's 7. These 3 digits are now 1, 5, and 9. That's not 1, that's not 9, and that's not 5. If this were 9, that would have to be 8, which it cannot be, so that is a 5. That makes this 4 or 6, and we see a 4 in the row, so that's a 6. This 5 makes this a 1 and this a 9. These 2 digits are 2 and 7, and that 7 tells us the order. That's 2, that's 7. This 2 means that this is a 3 because it can't be a 1, and we end up with a 4-8 pair on the dot, and we know the way round that they go. Okay, these 3 digits are 2, 5, and 8, and we don't know the order, but we do get some small eliminations. So if this is 8, then this would have to be a 9 because it can't be a 7. And if this is a 5, this would have to be a 6. So 8, 9, or 5, 6. In fact, let's put 3, 6, and 9 in the column. That one's not a 6. That one's not a 9. And 3 goes with a 2, and 6 goes with a 5. So that seems reasonable. And then these 3 digits must be 1, 4, and 7. That's not 1, that's not 7, that's not 4. Anything we can eliminate? I don't see anything super obvious, so these 2 digits must be 5 and 9, and we know the order because of the 5 in the column. These 3 in this column are 2, 8, and 5. 2, 5, 8. That's not a 2, that's not an 8, that's not a 5. These 3 are 6, 3, and 9. These 3 are 1, 4, and 7. That's not 6. That's not 3. That's not 9. That's not 1. That's not 7. That's not 4. All right, let us see how we resolve these. Okay, if this were a 5, that would be 6. That would be 9. That would be 8. That seems... So that would be 3. This was 5, this would be 6, this would be 3. The non-consecutive would make that 8. That would be 2. 5, 6, 9, 8. 3. Is there some non-consecutive that I'm not spotting along here? 5, 9. No, that seems okay. So, how are these interacting? Is there something that I've missed? Okay. This if that's 6, then that's 5, that's 2, that's 8, that's 3, just making sure I haven't messed something else up. I don't think so. All right. So that's 9, that's 8. Oh, hang on, what's going on here? That's the problem. Okay. No, if that's 9, that's, yes, if that's 9, that can't be a 9. Yes, I'd spotted that we'd put the 147 in there, but that 9 can't go with an 8 here. There we go. So that must be a 3. That makes that a 4. There's a 7. That's a 1. That resolves our 7, 1, and 4 over here. The 3 makes this 9, 6, and 3 here. We get 6 and 9 here. That's 8, 2, and 5. Get a 2 here, an 8 here, and lastly, a 5 here. And that was a very nice, approachable puzzle, as long as you actually look at the possibilities once you've eliminated your candidates over here. No, I really enjoyed that. And the nice bit with knowing or registering that all the V clues had to be 4 1s was a nice touch, and then resolving that this had to be the 4 with an 8 over here because that couldn't be a 1 2. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Thank you very much, pagedo, for creating it. If you enjoyed this solve, then please hit the like button. You can subscribe to see some more, and I would love to hear your comments. I'm looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.